Hi, I'm going to try this again. Take two on this Penny Heart to Heart. I'm here with you today to talk about my writing, the day how I became a thief and got away with it. I did. I come to you in these heart to hearts and I talk a little bit about why I wrote what I did and some background of it. And so that's the one we're going to talk about today. If you haven't read it, the link is above. I wrote it from a story that happened to me when I was a little girl. I was maybe 8-ish, something like that. My sister is 6 years older than me. And at the time, my sister and her friend and I went to the neighborhood swimming pool. And my sister's friend had purchased a ring from the back of a newspaper or a magazine for like $3.99, $5.99, something like that. Back then, that was pretty common to get these little trinkets like that. And it was silver, probably not even sterling silver, but looked silver, and had 3 cubic zirconium stones. I thought it was the most amazing thing I had ever seen. I've always evidently liked sparkly things. And she was showing it off and very happy to see our eyes light up when we saw it, and we were so impressed. And I remember thinking the whole time we were swimming that I wanted it, that I needed that ring. Well, we finished our swim time and we were dressing in the dressing room, and there was a bench in the ladies' dressing room, and I looked down and the ring was on the floor. And before I even knew what I was doing, my little 8-year-old hand reached down and picked up that ring. I wrapped it in my towel and I shoved it in my swim bag. Nobody saw. We pedaled our bikes home, and I remember being so excited that I had this treasure. And I went to the bathroom and put it on, and I looked up to the mirror and I saw it sparkle, and you know what? It wasn't nearly as sparkly as I remembered it to be. It didn't look nearly as glamorous as I thought it was. In fact, it was so surrounded with guilt that I couldn't stand it. I remember thinking it didn't feel good. I knew the minute my hand touched that ring that it wasn't right. And it didn't feel good from that very moment. I had this terrible feeling in my heart. I also knew I had gotten away with it, I thought. But I felt so bad and I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know how to hide it. I thought, what if somebody finds out? So I got on my bike and pedaled to a nearby field and stood at the field and threw that ring as hard and as far as I could. And in my mind, I thought, I'm throwing the guilt, I'm throwing this terrible feeling, I'm throwing the evidence, I'm throwing everything away. So it's gone, it's over with. I thought I had gotten away with it, but I didn't. Because these decades later, I have always remembered that story. I have always remembered how it felt the minute my hand touched that ring and tucked it in my bag, and I knew it wasn't right. I have always remembered this guilt that I should have told somebody, and I never did. Now, all these years later, my sister's friend is lost in life, as so many people in our lives become. I don't have any idea where she is or where she lives. I wouldn't even know she would remember the ring or the circumstance and this event. But obviously it made such an impression on my life and in my heart that it was a life lesson that all these years later I thought I should write about. And maybe that's why it happened, so that at some point I would write about it and share this story. And what I do believe is we all have a story like this. We all can remember something that as a child we did that we shouldn't have done. And maybe we think we got away with it, but the guilt of it or the memories of it or the lesson it embedded in our heart has always stayed with us. These lessons are so valuable to teach to young people in your life and share with them that, yeah, when I was a kid, I did things like this too. Actually, it's the only time I remember ever doing something like that before that happened or after, because it embedded in me that all that glitters is not golden, and that anything that is taken by deceit is tarnished with guilt. And that was my life lesson I included in this writing. I encourage you, if you haven't read it, to go back and read it. The link is with this video. And think about the lessons that you learned as a child and how you can share them with others, or share them with me. I love to hear stories from you. I share all these stories about me and my life, and I love to hear stories from you. This is the whole point. My heart meets your heart in these Penny Heart to Heart. This has been Penny Heart to Heart. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.